stretch. What was it that you channeled? And
just trying to stay focused on the game and just kind of let it come to me and just be ready to make plays when I can.
On the night of LeBron breaking the scoring record, besides the obvious grand moment that was upon us, if you flicked on the TV, it was this guy who was putting on a show soaring through the air with eye-catching finishes. During the course of this game, Jalen Williams would go on to post up 25 points on 52% shooting from the field and 50% from deep. For some people that never heard of him or seen him play, well, this was the perfect time to put himself on everybody's radar. Now, although he's more known for his dominant slashing playstyle, in the last 5 games he has shown flashes of his capability to score from the outside at an effective rate while still being a presence inside. If you look at his stats over the last 5 games at the time of recording this, you can see exactly what I'm talking about, as J-Dub has put up 21 points on 57% shooting from the field and 46% from 3-point range on an average of 3 attempts per game, and in a recent game versus the Jazz, Jalen put up 32 points on 80% shooting from the field and 80% from deep range, going 4 for 5. Now, as a rookie, this is honestly great to see. The ability to go score the ball effectively while having pure confidence is rare, but with Williams, he possesses this already at a young age. When we really lock in, go grab that magnifying glass and look at the month-to-month progression throughout the season, you can see that Williams' point averages go up every single month, and throughout those months, his conversion rates were astonishing. This just shows you the consistent work Jalen is putting in to improve his game, and each time he steps on the court, he just gets that much better. When you watch Jalen play, you can see the great feel he has to get to his spots, and although he still has some things to work on, he is starting out with such a great base. It's drives like this that show you how well he can finish complex lays at the basket, and if you give him a head start running to the rim, well, it's like a bull when he sees red, and it's a done deal. Players that can attack the basket with such force and speed are extremely dangerous to the opposing team's defense for a variety of reasons. First, it makes it hard to stay in front of players like this due to their relentless aggression. Number 2, it'll put the other team in foul trouble since they will be defending the basket more times than not. And 3, it's going to cause the defense to break down a lot more, which will result in better looks for the team all around. There's honestly a lot of value you can get from a slasher that can do it at an elite level, and when watching Williams, it's just like he has all the keys to become just that. When you start at the most basic level, Williams is highly effective when cutting without the ball, but just because I said basic, it doesn't mean this isn't a great skill to have. I mean, just watch as he never stops moving after giving up the ball here, and due to his constant movement, Jalen's able to beat his defender backdoor for the easy two-handed slam. A lot of players, whether they are younger or older, tend to not know what to do on the court if the ball isn't in their hands, and this can lead to tons of problems offensively. When you're not the premier ball handler, you have to have the IQ to know where to insert yourself within the offense, and more importantly, you have to know when to do it as well. When you have a pass-first player like Josh Giddey dishing out 6 assists on 11 potential assists per game, working off ball becomes that much easier as you know your guard is always scanning the floor looking for you. Williams is constantly slicing through the holes in the defense, keeping them on their toes as you never know when he will make his move. Very calculated and direct, you'll see Williams make a cut to the basket right as his defender looks away, which gets him the reverse on the other side of the rim. And on this next play, you'll notice that THT gets caught in a tough spot after the scramble, but Jalen plays it perfectly and dashes right to the rim once THT shifts over for the bucket and close. Most of the time, it's all about timing when to take off and when to stay put, but then there's these other times where you have to fake a defender out to gain the advantage on them. Key example, as Jalen comes up the court, it's a slight fake acting as if he will use the screen, but he quickly changes direction which catches Craig off guard, and Giddey delivers the bullet to J-Dub for the yunk. You can even flip it around and have Williams be the so-called screener, and he can then slip off while his defender is flat-footed to then receive the pass and put another 2 points on the board. I know, right? He's truly a nightmare when he decides to knife through the defense without the ball, and furthermore than just the eye test, when we look at the breakdown of Jalen scoring off cuts to the basket, the numbers are amazing to say the least. Off cutting dunks, Jalen is 23 for 23 going 100% on the season. Off cutting layups, he's 24 for 28 going 85% on the season. And off cutting layups and dunks combined, Jalen has converted 48 of his 52 attempts so far this season for a conversion rate of 92%. Now take a little breather, because I know I just loaded you with a lot of numbers real fast. But when you really sit back and think about this, Jalen is just a rookie finding his footing on this rising OKC team, but he's converting at an elite rate when it comes to scoring inside without even needing the ball to create for himself. To take it even a little deeper, when we look at his scoring in the restricted area, Williams has sunk 193 of his 272 attempts so far, which puts him at 71% and really showcases how comfortable he is when getting around the rim. When you're a guy whose focal point of scoring is off the drive to the basket, you have to have many subtle but important skills in your bag. Some people will watch and think it's as simple as pounding the ball on the ground a couple times, maybe bump the defender, and then go score. but that couldn't be any more further from the truth. As a player who depends heavily on their slashing ability, you have to have these little things to do to get the step on the defender and also be able to deceive the defense with a quickness. I know just hearing that may confuse some of you, or you just don't see the picture all the way, but just wait, let me paint it for you. So just as a painter uses many different brushes and colors to create his art, the same applies to Williams when he's attacking the rim. Certain things may seem more simple than others, but when you tie them all together, this is when you have the full package. Since a big part of slashing starts with having the speed or quickness to get past defenders, this is when you're going to see Williams either all out blow past a defender with a couple dribbles, or you'll see him tie together a quick combo and quickly burst out the crossover to go score inside. The ability to explode out these crossovers is key, as sometimes the defenders will be flat-footed, so it gives Jalen that slight edge when pushing downhill. You can see in this play as Williams comes up to get the handoff, it's a quick look at the rim to sell a shot, but it's this stunt jab step that allows him to power off that back foot and explode right past Valanciunas for the bucket at the rim. With his quickness and explosiveness, Jalen is great at choosing when to actually utilize these weapons, and it directly affects his change of pace when he's on the court. Young guards that come in the league tend to have this year or two process where they have to learn to control their speed or how they attack the basket, but with Williams, he looks very poised when attacking and can slow down and speed up at any moment. Pushing up the floor on this play, you can see Jalen start to coast once passing half court, but then he just picks up the speed after this drop cross and glides right past the defender for the easy lay. Then as Jalen comes off the screen, he does that slight hesitation into a speed boost just like earlier, which gets him to step on Thibault, but then he slows down to get him on his back, notices Embiid shifting over, and opts into this reverse on the other side, showing off his craftiness. These little slick things that he does aren't necessarily new because these are all skills you must have to be a great slasher, but with Williams being only a rookie and showcasing these abilities already, it makes you really think about how good he will be in the foreseeing years. At this moment, Jalen has converted 103 out of his 172 driving layups and dunks this season, earning himself a conversion rate of 60%. Now, if that's not something that gets you a tad bit impressed, then I don't really know what will. Maybe it's a play where Williams uses a slick in and out to break the defender off to then lay it in with the left. Or maybe it's a play where he yanks a defender, sending them out the way, and then smoothly lays it in over the big man for 2 points. I mean, hey, maybe I can't convince you if you don't see the value just yet, but for all of us that have been watching him throughout the season, you can kinda see where I'm coming from. Now hold on one second, I do have an opinion that might seem super wrong or a little far-fetched, but I honestly think Williams can be a pretty good pull-up shooter in the future. Now wait, before y'all get all mad and start dropping the hate comments, look, Jalen shoots 42% on pull-up jumpers for the season so far, and when I see him getting in his groove, he looks pretty confident. Whether it's a fading jumper over defenders or if he's rising straight up over the top of them, Jalen looks balanced and the shooting stroke itself is very smooth. Now I'm not going to go too far into it as I'm not all the way sure how this aspect of his game will pan out, but that's just a little bit of something that I've been keeping an eye out for. Jalen Williams is truly a special talent for this Oklahoma City Thunder team, and they have a lot of key pieces that can help them in the future. How long will things take to really get them going where they are a fully ready playoff team? I'm not exactly sure. But with pieces like Jalen Williams, it'll help those goals come sooner than later. Let me know what you all think about Jalen Williams and the Oklahoma City Thunder below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Kevin Durant and Devin Booker duo breakdown. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.